There's a hood in every country in the world. And in every state, there's a hood too. Why is that a thing? Think about that while you're watching this video. Why is there a hood everywhere? Why can't we just eliminate the poverty in the hoods in the world? Why can't we do that? Not making any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
A major gang takedown. In fact, a violent gang has been terrorizing Hartford's notorious North End for more than a decade.
But a long FBI investigation has multiple gang leaders or associates in jail tonight.
This violent gang is accused of murdering people, rival gang members, innocent people, dealing drugs, selling guns, just wreaking havoc on one of our cities.
That's because y'all let it happen, though.
About the dark and bloody war between two rival gangs in Hartford. The FBI says it lasted for almost a decade.
Right.
Dark Stars gang, its members and associates, promoted a climate of fear in the Hartford community through violence and the threats of violence.
From 2019 to 2022, one gang turned Hartford, Connecticut into a battlefield. They pulled up in stolen cars, emptied clips in broad daylight, smuggled guns from out of state, then filmed rap videos bragging about it.
What? I just want to know, when did it become cool to self-snitch on? I think I blame King Von, bro. Because I didn't see a lot of this stuff going on until King Von started coming out. RP Von. But I didn't see a lot of this shit being happening until Vine came out. It's pretty much like, yeah, we smoking the ops, we doing this, we doing that, and just bragging about it. Then everybody and their mama wanted to do the same thing. Why can't niggas just be original? You know what I'm saying?
Not just rival gang members, but also innocent civilians were caught up in their mayhem. By the time federal agents caught up, 6 people were dead, dozens more were wounded, and the city was left traumatized. They went from breaking local news to a federal RICO. The culprits responsible were none other than the Hood Star G's, and in this video, we'll be telling their story. But before we get into the video, please be sure to like and subscribe.
Definitely got to do that on Folks Don't Grade.
The Hood Star G's, previously going by just the name Hood Stars, formed their organization in 2010. They controlled the areas of Capon Street, Westland Street, Enfield Street, and Main Street in Hartford, Connecticut. In 2011, one of their founding leaders was killed, leading to a new generation taking over. This generation was much more violent, reckless, and less organized. There was no hierarchy, no titles. You earned respect in the crew by catching bodies or accumulating drug money. Violence wasn't just a tactic, it was the culture. The Hood Stars sold fentanyl, crack, marijuana, cocaine, and xylazine-laced drugs across Hartford and into Vermont. They would purchase guns in Vermont using straw buyers and traffic them back into Connecticut. A straw buyer is a person who purchases goods or property on behalf of another person, concealing the identity of the real buyer.
And that shit's so stupid, gang. I ain't gonna lie, like, you know they can all trace it down, right? They try to make it seem like they don't know what they're doing, they don't know how to figure it out. They know how to trace it down, gang. So if they really want y'all gone, they can get all y'all dumb ass niggas gone. I don't understand why people still be trying to do street activity knowing that it's stupid. I don't get it.
The Hood Stars would also steal vehicles, use them to commit murders, then burn them. And when they weren't sliding on rivals, they were recording drill tracks and flexing on social media. Their main war was with the Ave Gang, based just blocks away on Albany Avenue in the north end of Hartford. In January 2025, a 15-count federal indictment named 7 key members of the Hood Stars as part of a racketeering enterprise. These weren't random names, these were the heavy hitters.
Right.
Angel Rivera, also known as Rico or Slat, was the alleged orchestrator. He organized hits, supplied drugs.
Crazy, they know everything too.
Murders directly.
They know it all.
Knight, aka RQ, was Rivera's enforcer. He wasn't just a shooter. He was the kind of guy who'd DM a victim's mom with a laughing emoji the day her son was killed.
Like a
Paul
goofy.
Browner, who performed under the name Luat Benji, was also a shooter, known for shooting someone in the femoral artery over a drug debt in Vermont. Makai Thompson, aka Midnight, was considered one of the most dangerous members of the crew, allegedly involved in multiple murders. Paul Clark, also called Tommy Buns, helped manage trafficking and logistics.
What's up with these names though? Tommy Buns. Like, what did you do in the hood to get a name like Tommy Buns, gang? Like, what? There's no way, like, how do you even make that sound gangster? Yeah, my homie Tommy Buns. You don't get your dirty bell. He probably a killer too. That's the craziest part. But like, what? Tommy Buns?
Tyshawn Walker, aka Pone Guapo, was linked to one of the murders. And finally, there was Joshua Cruz, aka Hop Out Curly, who was also an alleged shooter. The Hoodstar G's would go on a multi-year shooting spree, primarily targeting Av gang members, with innocent civilians also being caught in the mix.
Tripping. That's what they doing, tripping.
On April 10th, 2021, at 4:46 p.m., shots rang out near the 100 block of Magnolia Street. An Av gang member named Jamari Preston, aka Mari, was sitting in a car when two vehicles, a stolen Acura TL and an Audi SQ5, pulled up. Hoodstar's members Rico, RQ, and Curly were in those vehicles and opened fire with rifle caliber weapons.
Like that was cool
Mari
or something.
was struck multiple times. A 3-year-old child riding nearby was also shot. Mari was rushed to a nearby hospital but was pronounced dead shortly after arrival at just 16 years old. The Hoodstars would flee the scene, abandon the vehicles, and set them on fire in order to destroy any evidence. Police later recovered both burned getaway vehicles. Following Mari's death, RQ would go as far as DMing his mother on Facebook to mock her about his death, and multiple Hoodstars members made songs dissing him. This was only the beginning of
what
the they would commit.
Why would you do that? What about that makes it seem like that was a smart move? Why would you do that?
Less than a year later, on January 18, 2022, just before 7 p.m., Kendall Fair, better known on the street as Swerve, was shot and killed while parked on Mather Street. The gunman pulled up in a stolen Infiniti M37 and unloaded over 40 rounds, many from a modified Glock with a switch. Swerve died on arrival at the hospital at just 22 years old. 3 other people in his car were wounded. Rico, Pone Guapo, and Curly are alleged to be the gunmen in this incident. The police would later find the Infiniti burned to a crisp. The Hoodstars would celebrate this murder and go on to frequently mention Swerve in a disrespectful manner in their songs.
It's crazy how people like, you can't even let the shit die down before you start mentioning a nigga name in the song. That'd be the craziest part about all this to me. Like, they instantly just start being like, yeah, we slid on Bull yesterday and got him whacked the same day. What? Well, okay, now I'm looking dead at you because no one else is mentioning his name besides you. So clearly you got something to do with it. Like, people aren't stupid.
On August 1st, 2022, around 12:30 a.m., shots were fired on Winter Street in Hartford. Av gang member Brian Evans, 23 years old, was sitting in a car with 2 others when gunfire erupted. Federal prosecutors allege Rico was the shooter, using blackout ammunition and a Glock modified with a switch. Brian was struck and rushed to the hospital, but pronounced dead shortly after. 2 others were wounded. This shooting was believed to be retaliation for the May 2022 murder of a Hoodstars member named Jamie Holmes. Members of the Hoodstars believe that Brian was the one that killed him. Sadly, after this, the Hoodstars would go on to kill innocent civilians in back-to-back months.
Yeah, they gotta get put down. They gotta get put down. They're doing too much now.
14th,
time for them boys to go.
Around 7:45 p.m., a 28-year-old man named Devontae Gardner was walking near Park Avenue and Garden Street in East Hartford. Devontae was an employee of a rental car agency called Simple Auto Rental. He had rented a car to the Hoodstars member named Midnight, but it was not returned on time. Midnight and Devontae would get into an argument over the return of the car. That same evening, Midnight and another Hoodstars member tracked him down. Once he found him, Midnight opened fire. Devontae was hit multiple times and taken to Hartford Hospital.
That's not right.
He was pronounced dead shortly after arrival.
That's just weird. That's not right. Like, why, like the rental car person though? Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. It be, you know, sometimes I be understanding. I wouldn't say understand, but it's kind of sort of just a little bit makes sense that people be doing certain shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let's say, for example, Manuel, on front of RP Manuel, but let's say Manuel, he was goddamn kicking it with the ops. He was like one of their main homies, shit like that. I can kind of sort of understand why y'all did it. Not saying it's okay, but I can kind of get, you know what I'm saying, the correlation. But a nigga that just got down was a rental car person, and you think the Fed's not gonna throw the book at you? Tripping.
On the evening of October 27, 2022, around 5:30 to 6 p.m., a 23-year-old man named Manuel Rodriguez was driving down New Park Avenue when his car was rammed into by another car being driven by Midnight. After striking Manuel's car, Midnight fled the scene, attempting to pull off a hit and run. Refusing to let it go, Manuel followed Midnight's vehicle down Hillside Avenue. Around 6:59 p.m., Manuel pulled up near the 500 block, at which point Midnight allegedly jumped out holding a gun and heartlessly shot Manuel. Manuel was transported to the hospital, but will ultimately pass away from his injuries.
Over a fender bender?
Eventually, all of the murders that the Hood Stars were committing would catch up to them and land them behind bars.
Well, new tonight, a major development in the fight against violence in Hartford. 7 alleged gang members are facing federal charges for some of the most violent crimes.
By the end of 2022, the chaos caused by the Hood Stars had finally reached a breaking point.
Yeah.
The gang's brazen violence, public taunts, and increasingly reckless shootings had drawn the attention of federal law enforcement.
Oh yeah, it's only about time. Only a matter of time.
Agencies including the FBI, ATF, DEA, and the U.S. Attorney's Office were working closely with Hartford police to build a case. Over time, they connected the dots, linking music videos to real shootings, matching shell casings to burned out vehicles, and pulling cell phone data that placed gang members at the scenes of multiple homicides.
Yeah.
In January of 2025, after nearly 2 years of surveillance and evidence gathering, the U.S. Attorney for the District of Connecticut unsealed a sweeping 15-count indictment under the RICO Act. The indictment charged 7 key members of the Hood Stars with operating as a violent criminal enterprise. Among the charges were 6 murders committed in aid of racketeering, 8 attempted murders, drug distribution across state lines,
y'all going down,
firearms possession,
it's over,
and conspiracy to commit violent crimes.
It's over. Y'all went down. Y'all done for. It's over.
Intimidation, as several members had threatened people online and in person to remain silent. When the feds executed their search warrants, what they found confirmed the scope of the operation. Officers recovered over 5 pounds of fentanyl, along with quantities of marijuana, cocaine, xylazine, and oxycodone. They also found 16 firearms, many with illegal Glock switches and extended magazines, as well as multiple stolen vehicles used in previous attacks. Laptops and phones contained music files and social media posts where Hoodstar members openly bragged about murders, taunted rival gangs, and mocked grieving families. The songs weren't metaphors, they were confessions. The 7 men arrested were Angel Rivera, known as Rico, Raekwon Knight, known as RQ, Makai Thompson, known as Midnight, Joshua Cruz, known as Hop Out Curly, Paul Downer, known as Luwat Benji, Paul Clark, known as Tommy Buns, and Tyshawn Walker, known as Pone Guapo. Each of them now faces mandatory life in federal prison if convicted.
Mandatory life in feds just because you wanted to be tough and act like you was the gangster of the year. Now your ass is going to be the gangster of the year, and now your ass going to be in the feds for the rest of your life with around a bunch of men. M-E-N. And then y'all gonna be trying to act tough there still. Like, I don't understand these street niggas, man. Like, everything be cool, fine and dandy until the feds come. Now y'all want to run, cry, and hide. Nah, nigga, you was just tough outside. Be tough now. Be tough now with the real gangsters. Lame ass little boy.